Hi there, Bill Rogers, Lauren Hall here from Loan Market Edge, coming to you with a little bit of social distancing.
Yep.
No, we are taking it seriously, but it's probably just a bit awkward being both out of the shop, but we're doing our best to make sure we do the right thing. What a week!
Another week.
What a week.
It's as busy as the lead up to Christmas, the lead up to Easter.
Yes,
so
it
we're gonna
is.
get 4 days instead of 5.
And you throw in a mini 3-day lockdown. I guess safer than sorry, but really good to see that we have come out of that and avoided what was potentially going to be a pretty grim Easter. So excited to still be able to be, I guess, grateful to be able to spend time with family and friends.
Get out and about.
Probably a bit of time in the office as well. But you know, so in all seriousness, no, that just really good to see everyone being able to travel and spend some time.
Well done, Brisbane. Good job.
Yes, the amount of people getting tested, we're learning, which is really good. Masks, all of the above. So distancing. So very excited to be celebrating Easter this year. So congrats to everyone doing their part. Next 2 weeks, hopefully we'll get through this okay. Touch wood. And we'll be back to normal before you know it. So I wanted to talk to, and on that, I guess, this weekend, support local. This is our little push, our little shout out to all those local businesses. You know, do yourself a favour where you can, shout yourself some takeaway for the weekend, just support a local business. It has been a little bit of a tough push. I guess a lot of businesses were probably expecting a bumper Easter in a lot of industries. So if we talk about our hospitality friends, jump on, support local, grab a takeaway, enjoy, and think of us when you do. Obviously your favourite brokers, but support local. That's our big call out for you guys, and let's spread the love a little.
Like it.
Self-employed, really topical conversation these last couple of weeks. We're in a really unique position. We're coming into that last quarter of the financial year, sort of 12 weeks away from a whole new set of figures, and seem to be having this conversation daily at the moment, probably with a lot of our clients, especially self-employed, because it's quite a unique period. We've had traditionally, we'd still be looking at 19s, 20s now for the majority of the banks. Pretty much all of them are required at this time of year. But then we've also got a set of interim financials, which are 3/4 of the year, 9 out of 12 months, give you a really good indication of what that's going to look like for the financial year. So we're sort of spending that time now, we're pulling that apart and understanding the 20-year in particular was quite unique for a lot of businesses, and maybe had still carryovers of JobKeepers, and it had cash flow boosts, and it may have had, a business may have stopped operating for a period, or a huge change of the normal income levels. But then 2021, we've also seen, and financial year we're talking about, the skyrocket of a lot of businesses. Not only
some great bass for the first 2 quarters of the
we've had some, fantastic stories to see the bounce back of previous businesses and even some new businesses starting, and so really exciting to see where that's going. So the conversation at the moment, a lot of that is around, all right, well, let's look at the 19s, let's look at 20s, let's get draft interims for 2021, let's get some BAS to support that, let's get a really strong overview of being able to show maybe what's happened in 1 year. Can we isolate the new year? Are the 20s enough? Do we want to wait till 2021s are in play? So I mean, anyone that's self-employed probably goes, I know what he's saying. So there's a lot of encouragement. We're having these, and we're reaching out to a lot of the clients, as traditionally do this time of year anyway, to check back in and go, hey, it was a bit of a funny year, 2020 on paper, and a good accountant is going to do what a good accountant does, and their role in a lot of cases to help you minimize tax, which is great, and we deserve that for the hard work we do. But there's also a bit of a line between, okay, well, that's great. Do we minimize that tax? But then our taxable income is what we use to borrow, and that sometimes can be a little bit problematic. So,
and understanding accountants will, we put different sets of income or bits in different boxes. So how much is allocated for depreciation or interest or these costs or wages or drawings, all those things, you'd be amazed how different or how much that impacts, actually what your borrowing capacity looks like. So we always talk about getting eyes on those before they're obviously lodged, understanding every accountant will prepare them differently, and every bank looks at self-employed differently. Going from averaging 2 years, isolating most recent year, excluding company debts, depreciation, interest, all those things will make a massive difference to what you can do. So you just got to be
And
That's
then
really exciting seeing what these businesses are starting to do.
And if you want to borrow money in the next 12 to 18 months, these 2021 financials are going to be crucial. And so we're not here to make a judgment on how they're prepared. We're not tax agents. It's not advice. But seeing those figures in a draft format helps our clients set the pace, or set a profile, or you're getting those in draft prior to being lodged, just to go, okay, well, what are your goals or objectives from a lending perspective for the next period? Are those financials, or is the income provided there going to be enough? And being able to work through that exercise with our clients.
And our role, I suppose, in that is to educate how those figures will affect your ability to borrow money, or how the bank views that. So,
and a lot of that time then is spent with really good accountants. So we'll jump on the phone and potentially do a Zoom, obviously, because we're social distancing. Do a Zoom or do a phone hookup or a conference call and get everyone on the same page. Because again, we're not there to give tax advice. They're prepared a certain way for a reason, and we totally agree with that. But our role is to help facilitate the borrowings off those documents.
Part of the A-team.
As part of the A-team, we have a good accountant, or B, we work with your accountant. So just thoughts, so just self-employed clients, you go, you know what, if this time of year, if the goal is to be doing that, let's start forward shooting or on looking at projected income or projections for that period, rather than looking at what we did in 2020. Because right now, we know that 2020 on paper for a lot of clients is significantly different to what 2021 looks like. So
that's all looking up.
which is good for a lot. So that's really exciting. And then, there we go. That's our first little live action here. Look at it go. There we go. Is another just interesting discussion we've been having with clients, I know in a lot of areas, is around, I call the credit handcuffs. We've had loan to value ratios where clients couldn't refinance because the value of the property and the loan wasn't going to allow them to. The cost fairly outweighed the benefit, be it paying mortgage insurance again, low valuations, etc. But then also not being able to sell for the same reason. So it's been really interesting, a lot of annual reviews that we've been doing at the moment, where there is a bit of a run in the market. And again, we don't sell houses, so there's no benefit for us to suggest to a client, hey, you should sell your house, because it's not with us. But it's been really nice to see people that have potentially had properties for a little while longer than they wanted to, or maybe didn't go as planned, now being able to get out of them. So I think that's also driving a little bit of the real estate market, where there is people that go, you know what, if we've ever considered selling, now is a time where there is definitely some heat in the market. There's a shortage of stock. There's an overflow of buyers. So I just had probably some really nice conversations this week, and thought out loud there, if you guys are thinking about that, reach out to a local real estate agent, or reach out to us. We've got a lot of fantastic agents we work with in the regions that we operate in, and just get an appraisal, just get a feel for what is my property worth. If it's something you're considering doing, the ability to get out of a property, so to speak, probably is more available than it's ever been. So that's just an interesting one for me, or for both of us.
Top tip for the week.
Top tips. There was plenty of top tips in there, full of them. So Easter, long weekend, big shout out from myself, Lauren, and the whole team, taking a well-deserved break on our end, and hoping you guys get a chance to do the same. Just slow down, shift it back a few gears. It's been a wild start to the year for a lot, so I think it's a well-deserved break in there to recharge the batteries and come back fresh and ready to go.
Done. See you next week.
Cool. Bye for now. Happy Easter. Bye.